Have you noticed how easily your energy dips? How by mid-afternoon the flame inside seems to waver? You fuel yourself with food, water, and sleep, yet something still feels missing, as if the true current of life hasn't been tapped. The sages say there is such a current, a living river called Prana, and that you can draw it consciously, turning tiredness into luminous strength, hesitation into courage, and confusion into clear, steady will. The Solar Plexus Chakra, Manipura, the city of jewels, is the transformer of this current. When it is dimmed, we second-guess, stall, and fold under pressure. When it burns bright, decisions clarify, courage becomes simple, and action feels natural. This center is the hearth of inner fire. Today, you and I go to that hearth together. Paramahansa Yogananda taught that the body is like a battery, but the secret is not merely conserving energy, it is learning how to recharge. He wrote, "The secret of vitality is to conserve the energy you have and to bring new energy into the body by willpower. Will is the switch that closes the circuit with the cosmic source." And he would remind his students with crystalline brevity, the greater the will, the greater the flow of energy. These are not slogans, they are a map. Think of prana as the universal wind that fills your sail. Swami Vivekananda, who helped open the West to yoga, expressed it with architect's clarity. Just as Akasha is the infinite omnipresent material of this universe, so is this prana the infinite omnipresent manifesting power of this universe. You do not create it, you align with it. The solar plexus is where raw current becomes usable flame, your power to choose, to act, to illumine your path. How does a human being learn this alignment? Let's step for a moment into the lives of those who walked ahead. As a boy and young man, Yogananda, born Mukunda Lal Ghosh, was aflame with longing for God. He searched for his guru with a heart that would not compromise. In Benares, at the edge of the bustling Ghats, he met Sri Yukteswar. Yogananda felt at once that magnetic recognition a disciple feels for a true master. The sense of a compass pointing north after years of wavering. Under Sri Yukteswar's training, he learned discipline of body and mind, but also something subtler, how to direct life force with calm will. The training forged a core of quiet power that his disciples later recognized in his gaze and in his teachings, teachings that carried him across an ocean and into the hearts of seekers worldwide. Another episode, Yogananda's two penniless boys in Brindaban. He and a friend went without money, trusting that the invisible hand would supply their needs if they held unwavering faith. And it did. Food, transport, even a return ticket appeared at the right moments. Whether you call it providence or prana guided by will, the lesson is the same. When the inner sun shines steadily, outer clouds part with surprising generosity. That story is not about recklessness. It is about the inner stance that Manipura makes possible. A stance of poised confidence in a living universe. If we move north in time to France, we meet Omraam Mikhaël Aïvanhov. He urged his students to greet the sunrise consciously, to receive the morning like a sacrament. Listen to his counsel. You are not yet aware that the sun's rays are able to feed your spirit. Yes, but only if you learn how to receive them, with all your heart and soul. And further, if you take the sun as your model, little by little, your intellect will receive its light, your heart its warmth, and your spirit its power. And above all, you will give, as the sun gives. Feel what he is saying. The outer sun is a teacher of the inner sun. Manipura brightens when you learn to receive and then radiate. Sri Yukteswar, the lion-calm sage, spoke with a surgeon's precision. The body is a treacherous friend. Give it its due, no more. Pain and pleasure are transitory. Endure all dualities with calmness. Imagination is the door through which disease as well as healing enters. He was not advising neglect of the body. He was advising sovereignty. The solar plexus, rightly awakened, grants that sovereignty, serene self-command in the midst of life's weather. And from the Himalayan stream of wisdom, Lahiri Mahasaya, householder yogi and reviver of Kriya Yoga, offered a compass phrase. Solve all your problems through meditation. Attune yourself to the active inner guidance. The divine voice has the answer to every dilemma of life. No cloister required. Just daily return to the inner current. That is the heart of Manipura. Daily, faithful stoking of the flame. Even the silent sage of Arunachala, Sri Ramana Maharshi, links this to a core mechanism. Prana and mind
Strength
arise
and
from the
stillness,
same source.
beauty in motion.
Still one, and the other stills with it. When breath is refined, mind becomes clear. When mind is clear, prana flows without friction. The solar plexus is then not a concept, but a felt sun. Warmth, steadiness,
Matter does not exist
lucidity.
in the way we perceive it.
What does this mean for
Material
you now?
consciousness takes hold
It
of
means
man
you can
through the
learn
law
to
of
receive
illusion.
cosmic energy and transmute it into power for your life. Begin where you are. Sit as you are. Place attention on that sphere above the navel. See a golden disc,
I want
no
to
larger
perceive
than a
God
coin at
as the
first,
boundless joy
growing
that
brighter
pulses
with
in
each
my
gentle
heart.
breath. Your breath is not forcing, it is inviting. Your attention is not straining, it is welcoming. Now imagine golden rays descending, rays with the fragrance of dawn. They enter through the crown, pass through the quiet lake of the heart, and collect in the solar plexus like sunlight in a lens. The lens warms, the lens focuses, the lens becomes a star. As it brightens, let it radiate into the abdomen, the spine, the shoulders and arms, the legs, and finally the skin. Then let it radiate beyond you, a soft field of sunlight that your life can live inside. This is not fantasy. It is training attention to conduct energy. The mind shows the current where to flow. Yogananda's reminder again becomes practical. The greater the will, the greater the flow of energy. Will here is not clenching. It is steadiness, the decision to remain with the practice, to return to it kindly when you forget, to refuse the old habit of collapse. What happens when Manipura brightens? Decision becomes simpler, not necessarily easier, but cleaner. Courage becomes available without drama. You do the next right thing with less inner noise. You may notice warmth around the navel, a gentler, fuller breath, a posture that lifts by itself. You will notice that you hesitate less, not because you are reckless, but because your clarity is stronger than your fear.
In time, you can practice in the early light. Omraam would take his students out at sunrise, the atmosphere clear and receptive. Greet the light with gratitude. Let your solar plexus drink it. Feel a reciprocity. You receive and you promise to give. The sun does not hoard, it radiates. When Manipura is truly opened, generosity becomes your natural posture, of attention, of energy, of warmth in your presence. It is why people speak of being around someone who has a glow. Skepticism is welcome here. You do not have to believe in anything. Try it and observe. Ramana Maharshi would say, go to the source, quiet the breath or trace the mind, and see. Yogananda built entire methods, the energization exercises, Kriya breath discipline, so that you can test and feel. Vivekananda mapped the logic. Sri Yukteswar insisted on calm discrimination. Lahiri brought it into household life. Aïvanhov placed you under the school of the sun. All of them are asking you to verify by practice. Bring this into daily rhythm. Each morning, 5 to 10 minutes with the inner sun. Each afternoon, when the slump comes, 2 minutes to recenter, a few warm breaths, a reconnection with that golden sphere. Each evening, a short gratitude. What did the sun in me give today? Where did I withhold, and how can I open tomorrow? When fatigue, doubt, or fear arises, return to 3 simple anchors. First, posture. Sit or stand with dignity. Manipura thrives on uprightness. Second, breath. Long, smooth, unforced. Let the belly soften and the ribs widen. Third, image. A small sun above the navel, fed from above and feeding your whole being. Whisper an affirmation that seals intention into energy. I receive cosmic energy into my inner sun. I radiate clarity, courage, and light. Whisper it as a vow, not a wish. And then act. Manipura is not for hoarding a private glow. It is for moving in the world with goodness. Make the phone call you avoided. Begin the page you promised yourself. Speak the truth that liberates. The chakra of will consumes the fuel you give it. Feed it with small, consistent acts that align with your higher aim. Every time you choose clarity over confusion, courage over hesitation, and service over self-absorption, the sun in you rises a little higher. Remember Sri Yukteswar's cool counsel when the body complains or the emotions lurch. The body is a loyal but limited ally. Give it its due and not more. Rest when you must, but do not abdicate the throne of your awareness. And if storms of emotion surge, recall his insight that imagination opens the door to illness or healing. So choose images that heal, light, warmth, steadiness. Remember Lahiri's compass when you feel lost. Solve all your problems through meditation. Sit, breathe, attune to the guidance that speaks quietly but always speaks. You will not always hear words. Often you will simply know what is next. Trust quiet, knowing more than loud anxiety. Remember Aïvanhov's invitation. Receive the sun to become like the sun. Let the morning teach you how to give without demand for return. When you live that way, Manipura does not merely burn, it blesses. And remember Yogananda's vow of energy. The greater your will, the greater the flow. Not harsh will, harmonious will, like a musician who returns to scales daily, not to impress anyone, but to keep the instrument true. Your instrument is your attention, your music is your life. One more story. In his ashram, under Sri Yukteswar's gaze, Yogananda passed through a doorway of consciousness so vast he could hardly speak of it, except in images. Cosmic currents coursing through every atom, the world seen as a dance of light. He called it an experience of cosmic consciousness. It didn't make him withdraw from life, it made him serve more deeply. The test of true energy is not ecstasy, it is usefulness. When your inner sun is real, someone else's darkness becomes a little less heavy because you are there. If today you felt only a glimmer, it is enough. Tend the flame. If you felt warmth, extend it. If you felt nothing, smile gently at that and try again tomorrow. Clouds pass, the sun remains. You do not have to earn the sun, you only have to learn how to receive. May the Solar Plexus chakra in you awaken like dawn. May you draw prana with willing, steady breath. May you become a person who lights the room not by noise, but by presence. Receive, transform, radiate. And as the masters teach, test this for yourself. Then let your life become a quiet proof.
If this moment brings you calm, tell me in the comments. Your words help others find this peace too. And if you haven't yet, subscribe now. More guided moments are on their way.